Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA. But for her individually, I don't think she should get involved on nothing.
She was always leading that. She always had the ball in her hands. Everybody was playing off of her. She just commanded the whole game. She is nice. It was like, oh, she's the best player in the country.
LeBron James just dropped a bomb about Caitlin Clark, and the WNBA is shook. The king himself said Clark deserves way better than what she's getting from her own league. Imagine that. An NBA legend backing a WNBA rookie over the entire women's league. But here's the crazy part. Clark might actually leave the WNBA. Yeah, you heard that right. The same girl who had 1 million people watching her college games is thinking about playing in Europe instead. Why? Because the WNBA can't seem to figure out how to treat its biggest star. Let's break down this mess and see why Clark's future in the league is looking shakier than ever. Alright, let's talk about Caitlin Clark and how she's shaking up the WNBA. This rookie isn't just good, she's changing the whole game. When Clark stepped into the league, everyone thought she'd be the next big thing, and boy, were they right. She's breaking records left and right. We're talking viewership, jersey sales, you name it.
Caitlin Clark had the highest selling jersey on draft night of any athlete in any sport in the company's history. Now, it's not like Fanatics has been doing this forever, but
Clark's not just playing basketball, she's putting on a show every time she steps on the court. But here's where things get complicated. Not everyone's thrilled about Clark's success. Some players are giving her the cold shoulder, making things tough for the rookie. It's like they're trying to test her, see if she's really got what it takes to hang with the pros. And you know what? Clark's not backing down. She's facing the pressure head on, showing everyone why she deserves to be there. Now, you'd think the WNBA would be over the moon about having a superstar like Clark, right? Well, it's not that simple. Some people are saying it's not fair. They're claiming Clark's only popular because she's white. Can you believe that? They're trying to downplay her skills and hard work, acting like her success is just about looks or race. But here's the thing, Clark's game speaks for itself. She's not just popular, she's dominating on the court. And you know who's not buying into that nonsense? LeBron James. Yeah, the king himself. LeBron dropped a bombshell, defending Clark against the haters. He said, when LeBron talks about Caitlin, he's not just blowing smoke, block out the haters and focus on what's next. That's huge. LeBron's telling Clark to ignore the noise and keep doing her thing.
Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA. But for her individually, I don't think she should get involved on nothing. Not only I get people are just crazy about why she should be doing this and they should be doing that. If she's so great, this team, it's still a team game, people.
And he's not the only one. NBA legends are lining up to praise Clark's game. Shannon Sharp jumped in too, saying Clark's success doesn't erase what other players have done. He's right, you know? Clark's not taking anything away from anyone. She's just adding to the game, making it bigger and better. And then there's Lou Williams calling out the WNBA for how they're handling Clark. He thinks the league needs to do a better job of recognizing and supporting its stars. But here's the million-dollar question. With all this attention, all this pressure, how is Clark holding up?
You can't win the scoring record because you white. You can't win the championship VIP just because you white.
She's got the whole basketball world watching her every move. The fans, the haters, the legends, everyone's got their eyes on Caitlin Clark. It's enough to make anyone crack. But Clark, she's showing us what she's made of. She's not just surviving in the WNBA, she's thriving. Clark's thriving, but the WNBA, they're stumbling. You'd think having a superstar would be a slam dunk for the league, right? Wrong. Some players are giving Clark the cold shoulder, and even the refs seem to have it out for her. What's going on behind the scenes that's got everyone so worked up? Picture this. The WNBA has been struggling for years, barely getting any attention. Then comes Caitlin Clark, a rookie sensation who's lighting up scoreboards and breaking records left and right. You'd think the league would be rolling out the red carpet, right? But nope, they're acting like they don't know what to do with her. It's like the WNBA finally got their hands on a golden ticket and now they're afraid to cash it in. Some players and officials seem to resent Clark's success. Can you believe that? Instead of embracing their new superstar, they're pushing her away. It's crazy. Now, let's talk about what's happening on the court. The refs are letting players get rough with Clark, ignoring obvious fouls. It's like they've got blinders on when it comes to protecting the league's brightest star.
swats at the basketball and somehow decides to turn her hand down and her fingernails and jab them right into the eye of Caitlin Clark.
Clark's out there getting knocked around and the whistles stay silent. That's not just unfair, it's dangerous.
Your biggest star, your meal ticket, the reason why you have relevancy, just got stabbed and assaulted and nothing.
Meanwhile, ESPN and other networks are going wild for Clark. They can't get enough of her, but the WNBA, they're acting all shy about it. It's like they're scared of their own success. How does that make any sense? You know who's not staying quiet about this? Lou Williams. He's calling out the WNBA for how they're handling Clark's success. Lou said the WNBA is too scared to stand up and just admit who their star is. Boom, he hit the nail on the head. The league's got a superstar on their hands and they're acting like they don't know what to do with her.
Who doing good? And y'all hating on her. She's gonna single-handedly increase viewership and make the WNBA relevant.
And it's not just Lou. Shannon Sharp's jumping in to defend Clark too. He's saying she's earned her spot fair and square. Shannon's not wrong, Clark's put in the work and now she's reaping the rewards. So why's the league acting like that's a bad thing? While the WNBA seems conflicted about Clark's stardom, big brands are jumping at the chance to cash in. Nike just dropped a bombshell deal that's got everyone talking. How much are they willing to bet on this rookie sensation? You're not gonna believe this, but Nike's throwing a whopping $24 million at Caitlin Clark. That's right, $24 million for a WNBA rookie. It's one of the biggest endorsement deals in women's sports history. Now that's what I call putting your money where your mouth is. Nike's clearly betting big on Clark's star power, and they're not the only ones. TV networks are fighting over WNBA rights like it's the last slice of pizza, all because of Clark's magnetism. She's not just playing basketball, she's putting on a show that people can't get enough of. Ratings are through the roof, and suddenly everyone wants a piece of the WNBA pie. It's like Clark waved a magic wand and made women's basketball the hottest ticket in town. But hold up, not everyone's cheering. Some folks are saying Clark's only marketable because of her looks and race. Can you believe that? They're trying to downplay her skills and hard work, acting like her success is just about appearance. That's crazy talk. Have they even seen her play?
For all the brain dead people that are like, only reason she doing it because she white. And she wouldn't even be doing this if she wasn't white.
Clark's game is off the charts, and that's what's driving all this attention. Now, here's where things get really interesting. The WNBA is about to level up, and it's all thanks to Clark. We're talking charter flights and expansion teams. That's huge. For years, players have been complaining about flying coach and playing in small markets. Now, with all the money and attention Clark's bringing in, the league's finally making some big moves. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. Is it fair for one player to have this much influence? I mean, Clark's basically rewriting the playbook for the entire WNBA. Some players who've been grinding for years might feel like they're getting overshadowed. And what happens if Clark decides to take her talents elsewhere? Would the whole house of cards come tumbling down? Speaking of Clark taking her talents elsewhere, that might not be as far-fetched as you think. Europe's calling, and it's singing a pretty sweet tune. More money, less drama. Sounds tempting, right? But before you start learning Italian, there's a twist in this story that nobody saw coming. Caitlin Clark's killing it in the WNBA, but she's facing some serious challenges both on and off the court. The league's supposed to be her new home, but it's feeling more like a battleground. Players are roughing her up, refs are turning a blind eye, and some folks are even trying to downplay her skills. It's enough to make anyone think twice about sticking around. Now, here's where things get wild. There's talk that Clark might pack her bags and head to Europe. Can you believe it? The WNBA's brightest star, the one who's breaking records and bringing in the big bucks, might just say peace out to the league.
You know, but I'm rooting for Caitlin because I've been in that seat before. I've walked that road before. I hope she kills.
In Europe, Clark could be looking at a fatter paycheck and a whole lot less drama. No more getting pushed around on the court or dealing with haters off it. But hold up, let's think about what this would mean for the WNBA. If Clark bounces, it could be a knockout punch to the league. We're talking ratings taking a nosedive, sponsors running for the hills, and all those new fans. They might just change the channel. The WNBA's been riding the Clark wave, and without her, they could be in for some seriously rough waters. You know who's not staying quiet about all this? Kevin Garnett. Yeah, the big ticket himself. KG dropped a bombshell about Clark's future that's got everyone talking. He said, Caitlin Clark's got game that's out of this world. She's not just changing the WNBA, she's changing basketball, period.
But she was always leading that. She always had the ball in her hands. Everybody was playing off of her. She just commanded the whole game. She is nice. It was like, oh, she's the best player in the country.
That's huge coming from an NBA legend. KG's basically saying Clark's too big for the WNBA to hold back. This isn't just about Clark anymore. Her next move could change women's basketball forever. If she stays, she could be the face that launches the WNBA into a new era. But if she goes, it could send a message that the best talent needs to look beyond the WNBA for respect and recognition. Talk about pressure, right? Alright, let's wrap this up. Caitlin Clark isn't just changing the game, she's flipping the whole script on its head. Whether she stays in the WNBA or takes her talents overseas, women's basketball is never gonna be the same. Clark's got the power to make or break the league, and that's wild for a rookie. Think about it, one player's got TV networks fighting over rights, Nike throwing millions at her, and NBA legends singing her praises. That's insane. But with all this pressure, what's Clark gonna do? Stay and try to fix the WNBA from the inside, or bounce to Europe where she might get more love? The ball's in Clark's court now. What do you think she should do? Whatever she chooses, one thing's for sure. Caitlin Clark's just getting started, and we're all along for the ride.